Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. Today we're here in Tikal, Guatemala. The whole family's here enjoying these awesome Mayan ruins and enjoying Guatemala itself. And today what we have for you are 10 things that shock tourists when they come here to Guatemala. And the first thing that got me when I came here is the taunting of the ATMs. Yes, the ATMs will taunt you. You will see them in the cities and stuff like that. They're pretty popular, around in the main cities and tourist areas. Now, if you're in the backwoods, no, it's not. But in the big cities, you'll see them. And the thing is they'll look at you like, yeah, we work. Come on, try me. And then it doesn't work. Or what's the best is you actually put your card and go through the whole thing, and then they'll be like, oh wait, sorry, we don't have any money. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me in the first place? So that's the first thing that's going to shock when you hear is the taunting ATMs, okay? And the thing is, if you're worried about getting money from ATMs and things like that, you can actually just bring dollars into Guatemala, because they'll take dollars for you here, and they'll just give you exchange rates wherever you go by, maybe 7 or 8, somewhere in there to 1 for the US dollar. So that's accepted everywhere. So you don't really have to get the local currency. It's nice, because I'll be honest, it's really cheap when you are here, but just have an idea that you don't have to just have the quetzal. You can have US dollars, it's okay, but the ATMs will give you the local currency if you find one that does work. Now, another thing that might shock when you come here is you don't throw the toilet paper into the bowl, you throw it into the basket. Look, the pipes here can't handle the toilet paper, so you just wipe and pitch, okay? I know sometimes for some people it's a bit much, but just realize it's going to make life a lot easier than having stuff bubble back up, so just be ready for that one. Now, the second thing that's going to shock when you come here is when you're seeing the banks and the shops, you're going to see people with big guns. You're going to see military people around with big guns and stuff like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, is it safe to be here? Should I be worried? Look, don't be shocked by the big guns and the security guards, okay? Guatemala, the news you heard in the 90s and stuff like that, and the 60s and all these things, it's not like that anymore. Yes, there are still some parts you don't want to go to, but in general, Guatemala's gotten a lot safer and a lot better for tourists, so it's okay to come here. But don't be shocked when you see those big guns or the military guys with the really big, like, machine gun kind of things just wandering around, or in the personnel carriers and stuff like that. It's okay, okay? It's okay. Don't worry, all right? So just have a heads up for that one. Now, the fourth thing that might shock you when you come here is when you go around the country and you take the chicken bus. Yes, your chicken bus experience is something you have to do when you come to Guatemala. Why do they call it a chicken bus? Well, ride the bus, you'll understand why they call it a chicken bus, okay? Because people can bring all their stuff with them. So if they're bringing their chickens with them, if they're bringing their bags with them, if they're bringing their shopping with them, if they're bringing anything with them, they can. And so it kind of becomes a really local experience. And the thing is, if you're going to be going around Guatemala, sometimes you are going to be using them because you have to, okay? This is the local public transportation. And unless you're going to some of the bigger cities, you're not going to have the shuttle buses and the shuttle vans and the nicer, bigger, fancier buses. So just have a heads up for that. And my personal favorite part of the chicken buses is they're actually old school buses from the US. So you see them, and it's like reliving the glory days of when you were a kid going to school in the morning, because it took forever and you had lots of stops along the way, and that does take a long time, all right? So just have a heads up for that. And I guess that'll lead into the next thing that shocks you when you come here is the distances and actual size and getting around and the driving stuff when you are here in Guatemala. Because the thing is, when you look at Guatemala on a map, okay, you think it's this little small country. It shouldn't be too hard to get around. Oh, no. It takes you a while to get places, okay? If you look on a map, there's UNESCO World Heritage Site Antigua, right? You see that, and you look right by it. Oh, there's a lake there, Lake Atitlan. I want to go there. It should be close. Oh, no, that's 3 hours. Guatemala has kind of like the reverse Greenland effect when it comes to maps, okay? Because in Greenland, you look at a map of Greenland, it looks huge, but it's not as big as it looks. Whereas Guatemala, since we're close to the center, the equator, looks really small. But what you have to realize is Guatemala is like the same size as England. And they have 2 mountain ranges and 33 volcanoes, so it does take time to get places. And I'm not going to lie to you, you might be shocked how much you want to throw up sometimes when you are driving around, because of all the mountains and all the switchbacks and stuff like that. It can really get you. So just have patience when you're driving around. Realize it's going to take you some time, because there's a lot of different variety in the nature and the landscape when you are here. Now, if you don't want to take the buses and all the chicken buses or the normal buses or the vans and stuff like that, you can hire drivers to drive you around. They're really affordable. They're really nice. Also, you can rent cars and drive around here. It's not too bad. Though I will warn you, the speed bumps here, they do not mess around. They're like a couple feet off the ground, it feels like sometimes. So have a heads up for that. Also, watch out. There are tons and tons of stray dogs around here and puppies, and they're so cute and you want to pet them. Don't. But you'll see them on the side of the road sometimes, or sometimes they'll just lay in the road and you're like, hey, what do I do? Look, you got to be careful with all those stray animals, okay? Especially when you're driving. And the thing is, what's great about driving around and taking the buses around Guatemala is you get to see so much of the nature, because there's so much varied nature when you are here. You have the highlands, you have the mountains, you have the volcanoes, the lakes, the coast. There's so much to see and do. Rio Dulce, you can go down there by Livingston and go down the river there. Maybe you want to go on some of the lakes. See, our family's having a good time here. You can have a family time here in Guatemala. It's quite nice. But Lake Atitlan, you can go there, and the little villages around the lake. It's just gorgeous with the volcanoes in the background. Oh, it is just amazing. Or if you want to go like Semuc Chame, sorry, I know I butcher the words, but basically what it is, this river goes down and it forms pools. And so it's like river, pool, pool, pool. And it's just so gorgeous when you are there. It's like one of those, when you look up Guatemala, you see these temples here in Tikal, and you see there, okay? It's just so gorgeous. That's really nice. Or you can go, if you're by here, you're going to Tikal, you go to the island of Flores that's here in the lake here. And there's so much really great nature to see here, just driving around or running around like these crazy people. You can really take it in. And so when you are going around here, what I will say is be ready for some hikes. And I will say, if you're going to be hiking some of the volcanoes or some of the things, don't think these are easy hikes. That is one kind of thing I've seen, is sometimes they kind of undersell the safety aspects of certain things you're going to go see here. Not that it's dangerous, like someone's going to get you, but like the danger, like, look, this is a legitimate hike. Okay, you need to be prepared for it, versus oh, it's just a nice little walk in the park kind of thing. And that gorgeous nature includes the vegetation around here, the jungles and stuff like that, the fruits you'll see. Oh my gosh, if you have some of the fruit shakes when you're here, make sure you have it done with milk, because I mean it's so good, but the fruit is so fresh and stuff. But the thing is, it kind of gets me, one of the next shocks for you is how sick you can get from the water when you come here. Look, you're not drinking the tap water. You are not brushing your teeth with the tap water. You're going to use purified water or bottled water to brush your teeth, to wash your vegetables, your fruits with, things like that. Don't just go to the markets. I mean, yes, go to the markets because it's really cool. But if you're buying fruits there, don't eat it right away. Go clean it, with good water before you eat it. Otherwise, you can have some really tough tummy troubles when you are here. So just a heads up for that one, because yeah, it can be legit bad. Now, the next thing that's going to shock you to come here is places like here in Tikal. Realize there's tons of Mayan ruins when you are here in Guatemala, and they're awesome. I mean, I know Chichen Itza is one of the new 7 wonders of the world in Mexico, and don't get me wrong, that place is awesome. But actually, Tikal is significantly larger than Chichen Itza, and they have all these towers and temples you can go to, and you can hike up them and see stuff. I mean, it's just amazing to go around and see, and you can spend a whole day here trying to see everything, trying to hike everything, but you're going to need more time. And when you go around the country, you'll see some amazing temples. I mean, when you go around here, honestly, when you go around and see the Mayan temples in Guatemala, you're like, Indiana Jones? Is that Indiana? Wasn't Indiana Jones filmed here? Or was the Jungle Book filmed here? Like, you'll get these feelings in these temples and at these sites. So it's really kind of a shocking thing how cool it is to visit those sites. And that is one of the historic parts of coming here. And also the Mayan history here is really cool, because about 60% of the people here in Guatemala are Mayan, okay? And that's really kind of a thing. You'll hear the language when you're here. And it's like, oh, hey, that's not Spanish. Yeah, it's Mayan. Now, don't get me wrong. People speak Spanish here everywhere. It's okay. But no, if you're like, what's that other language they're speaking? That's going to be Mayan, okay? It is really cool to see that culture here, because you'll see people doing things in traditional ways and traditional foods and traditional crafts and stuff. So it is really cool. So man, the shock of Tikal and all the Mayan culture here is just so awesome. One of the things you really will enjoy when you're here. Now, if you want more of a colonial history kind of thing, which is also UNESCO World Heritage, because this is UNESCO, you want to go to Antigua. Look, and I guess my shock for Antigua is how gorgeous the colonial town is. I mean, Antigua, for those of you that are thinking about coming to Guatemala, most people will just fly into Guatemala City and they'll get a van straight to Antigua. They don't go into Guatemala City. I don't really recommend going into Guatemala City either. I would rather you go to Antigua first off too, and you go there. The cathedral, the palaces, things like that. I mean, it's the old capital from 200, 300 years ago, okay? So it has all those old buildings. They're still there. I mean, they've had some rough times with the earthquakes over the years, but it's really cool to see. You go around, and it's just gorgeous. We see the volcanoes in the background, and the architecture, and the colored houses and everything. It is so cool to be shocked how gorgeous it is when you are there. And the 10th thing that's going to shock you when you come here to Guatemala is how chill and nice the people are. I know when you go throughout Latin America, there's lots of different personalities and stuff when you have this, and different cultures when you're down here. But here in Guatemala, this is the definition of chill out, man. Relax. Because the people, they're super friendly, and oh my God, they're so helpful. They may have nothing, I mean, because there's a lot of poverty here, but they're gonna help you out. You're lost, you need to find some food, some water, stuff like that. They will help you find it. And the thing is though, they're so chill and so nice. You're like, my God, this is just awesome when you're here. And that's one thing I really love about coming here, is because these people are just so awesome, but they're so chill about it too. And you'll see that chill atmosphere, that chill kind of attitude also is kind of when it comes to bringing your food, ordering your food, waiting for your drink, having your drink made for you, waiting for your hotel to check you in. Yeah, so you gotta have a little patience to like enjoy that chill, but once you get that patience in and you're okay, you're gonna love it, because my God, it is such a great thing, all right? My last little bonus shot for you when you are here in Guatemala is you'll be surprised how much TRB you have. You're like, Mark, what the hell is TRB? TRB, tortillas, rice, and beans. In every meal you have, somewhere in there, there'll be a tortilla or rice or beans or some combination of those. And so you will have that. So just be ready for it when you're here to eat, okay? So I hope this helps you know a little bit more about coming to Guatemala. It's a really beautiful country. It's a lot safer than what people think it's gonna be. So definitely check it out. I mean, use your usual common travel sense. There's parts you don't go to, just like anywhere else in the world, but there's fantastic places like Antigua, like here in Tikal. I mean, it's just a really great place to go. And so I hope you do enjoy it. If you wanna learn more, I actually interviewed a guide here in Guatemala to give more ideas about visiting Guatemala. You want to check out some neighboring countries. We've got videos on Mexico, we got videos on Belize, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, all kinds of places around the world. And if you like travel videos like this, click that subscribe button. We put out new travel videos every Wednesday and Saturday to help other travelers like you enjoy the world. So have a great time, and bye from Guatemala.